Our next speaker is an engineer and entrepreneur. He's CEO of Los Angeles' own nerd club, 2-Bit Circus. Please give a warm welcome to Brent Bushnell.
Oh, thanks, man. 3D printed? It's 3D printed. Beautiful. How's that? Oh, you know what? I've got this one.
Oh, you have your own.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Thanks, no worries. All right. Howdy, folks. Excited to be here today. I would like to tell you a sort of a evolving, meandering story. Oh. Is for this. Got it. Thank you. Beautiful, guys. Very excited to be here today. Christy, thank you so much for the invitation. I run a company in downtown LA that has had a very evolving sort of approach to it. And so I'd love to just share with you that story because we have, in literally 40 days, the biggest project we've ever done. So it's a particularly crazy time for us. So at any rate, I worked in a bunch of different industries, from DNA synthesis to fiber optics, was even a sushi chef for a little while. And things didn't get kind of properly weird until I met my co-founder, Eric Gradman. And he and I, this thing's not... taking a second here. There we go. In addition to both being engineers, we're also trained clowns. And in 2008, we were pretty frustrated with what we were working on at work, and we just sort of wanted something else to do nights and weekends. And so we started collaborating, making interactive art, all sorts of different stuff. But we were particularly struck by Michael Douglas in The Game. Right? We wanted to live in that world, that game that spanned the whole freaking planet, and he was buried alive in Mexico, and it was just wild. And maybe the buried alive part wouldn't be so awesome, but the rest of it would be great. Also the Westworld. We've got that great TV show now, but it was originally a movie with Yul Brynner around 3 different amusement parks you could go to: a medieval land, a Roman land, and a Western land, and be involved in the middle of this like crazy unfolding narrative over the course of a weekend. So we just love this idea of you as the active participant. So we built the Versix Institute of Counter-Espionage. We did this in, what is that tweet, 2010, and we just wanted to be that character for a little while. And so it was a 1-hour adventure. We didn't really have the words to describe it, so we said, well, it's played at a physical location, and it's sort of a hybrid between a movie, a video game, and a scavenger hunt. We didn't really have the language. And so we filmed our girlfriends at the time as these like Charlie's Angels style, detectives who were kind of putting you through your paces as you applied to be part of this spy club. And you had to drive really fast in a motion simulator and prove you could drive. You had to get through a room of laser beams like this, and every time you would go through the beam, the buzzer would go off. So we had all these variety of different challenges for you. But we were sort of like, it was just installed in downtown LA, and people are asking, he's like, this isn't a business, like you're just sort of, what is this? How does it scale, right? Everybody else has got mobile games that can scale infinitely. So we were like, yeah, maybe it's not really a business. So we said, well, let's take it onto the phone. They've got a GPS. We could overlay on the planet a bunch of different maps. And so you could be like part of the red team or the blue team and like take over territory on this big hexagonal grid in the world. Or in a different game, we put trees all over the world, and they all had different rarities, and you would harvest fruits from the trees and do battle. And people were like, why are they going to do that? They're going to go out into the, are they going to go out into the street in order to find things? Like, that's not going to make any sense. So we were like, yeah, maybe that's right. So we were like, well, okay, Rock Band is awesome. Space Battle is awesome. Let's do Rock Band for Space Battle. And so this was a 3-on-3, a pilot, a gunner, and a navigator on one ship, a pilot, a gunner, and a navigator on the other ship, and you had to try to destroy each other's space stations. And it was so complicated. People, being able to fly around in 3D, and it was just, people had such a hard time with it. It was hard to orient yourself. We're really not used to space travel. But we felt like there was something here, right? It was right as immersive entertainment was kind of at, immersive theater and escape rooms and all that stuff was just kind of starting. So we started our own circus we call 2-Bit Circus, and we started doing this kind of stuff for brands. So we built what is now called an escape room to help them launch the Flash and like a big adventure. You got to feel what it was like to do all sorts of fast things like a superhero. Did a whole thing for the NFL where you could feel what it's like to run the touchdown pass in virtual reality. And even for the Olympics, what's it like to dive off the high dive or be in the locker room. We even made a cloud that rains tequila for the Mexican Board of Tourism, because why not? But the thing that sort of was underneath this all for me the whole time was like, inspiration comes during work, not before it, right? Like we kept trying all these things, and it wasn't really, they were fun and exciting, but we were kind of without a way to really, make them awesome. And I think of the creator of the Bop It. Have you guys all played with a Bop It before? And you've never played with one ever? That is crazy. You must try this toy. Yeah. Okay. Well, so you have to like hit it and twist it and pull it, and it's sort of this. It's one of the most popular toys of all time. You've never even heard of it? Wow, that's amazing. It's an incredibly popular toy. That's wild. Okay, well, the thing that's so incredible is the guy who invented it was literally trying to make a better kind of remote control for a TV. It was literally, he's like one with pizza, and then he's like, well, what if there was one where I would hit it in order to change the channel and twist it in order to change the volume? And the toy industry was like, no, that is dumb. But then he ended up turning it into a toy, and I don't know what the sales numbers were, but they were freaking incredible. And I guess I bring that up just as a point of like getting in there and engaging. Sort of, you just in messing around in the muck is when you kind of figure out what the, where the thing is in a project. So at any rate, so we decided finally to kind of do it for ourselves, do some sort of event for ourselves after doing all these events for brands for ages. And so we said, well, hey, STEM is pretty, we love being STEM nerds, and we'd love more nerds that were trained in STEM, but STEM's not really that exciting, right? Like it's not as cool as being a DJ or a basketball player. People kind of think of this guy when they think of STEM. Right? And we really wanted people to think of Anouk Precht, right? Who's I think been on the BIL stage, incredible fashionista, engineer, inventor, wearable electronics. Like she represents something else, but that really, but an incredible thing to strive for. And so we got really excited about the term STEAM that has really started to gain a lot of traction now, STEM plus art. So we launched a big, a little bit like Leonardo da Vinci, right? Here's a guy that was, yes, an engineer and a scientist, but an artist and a creative and an inventor. So we launched a big traveling carnival. Instead of regular dunk tanks, we had dunk tanks with fire. You don't die because you're wearing this fire suit, and which... It was wonderfully, nobody was hurt. And I just love this picture of this kid who's sitting here just like that being tattooed on his brain. So we ultimately were like, gosh, this event people, love, but it's how hard to scale a traveling circus. So we launched a foundation to empower kids to be able to do it themselves. So they collect we collect clean waste from companies, package it up with tools, and then the kids basically build their own carnival, make their own games to throw their own carnival. So it's like a complete alternative to the science fair. And we just did one in Compton a couple of weeks ago in Hawthorne, and you could see these kids made a pinball out of candy and a foosball out of popsicle sticks, even their own dunk tank, but with water, thankfully. And the capstone project is this arcade cabinet that they get to make out of cardboard, but it's got real electronics and buttons. So we're about to open an amusement park in downtown LA, what we call a Micro Amusement Park. It's a 50,000 square foot entertainment complex. We have, basically, the 50,000 square feet is about a half a football field. So it's the whole length of that city block at 6th and Mateo. We have a whole reimagined carnival midway, a reimagined arcade, what we call story rooms, which are like these multiplayer, multi-role adventures, 100-seat interactive theater, touchscreens on every table facing a big stage, and we open it in like 40 days.
I can't believe it.
So I can't wait to show you. We're all just flat out dying. I'm going to leave here right now and go back. We have a full bar, a full restaurant, a secret inventor lab, a rotating gallery space. Like, it's really going to be bananas. It's free to get in. I mean, you pay as you go once you go in there, but you know. But it's but I would love to get you guys on a, you know, we could do like a BIL special list or something, or you know, like have a BIL. You know, I'd love if you guys want to come down when it's rugged and broken. We'd love your feedback. You know, maybe as early beta testers. What was that? Oh yeah, it's called 2-Bit Circus. Here, you know what the best slide is? Is this one? That one. So I'd be happy to answer any questions. Let's see. Oh, you're awesome. Thanks, dude. We're going to make this work. Put everything into it, leaving everything on the field. You know, it's funny. We built something very similar to Pokemon Go. I mean, and it was a few years before that, and we, you know, if I could do it again, the inclusion of Pokemon was genius, right? Because you kind of need. It's like, hey, you know, we were trying to sell a new way of playing and an IP you had no idea about, and so it really needs a critical mass to be fun and exciting. And they were like, hey, you know Pokemon, right? Great, here's a new way to play. And that is, for really brand new stuff like that, I think is critical, especially something with the kind of network effect requirements of a GPS-enabled location-based game. But it was fun. I mean, that early Hexagon one was really interesting. You know, I mean, you would sort of take over points for your team in like a territory game, and yeah, we kind of were just throwing a lot against the wall. And if we doubled down on any one of them, you know, they probably could have turned into something, but we didn't really have the conviction in any one of them to just love it so much. It was like they were early prototypes that just sort of were part of the mess, you know. Yeah. So.
I can't wait to come play in your space. But do you have the workshops for kids where they're really fun to create outside of that new one for adults?
I love that, yeah. And in fact, you know, the tools are getting so freaking awesome. Microcontrollers and Circuit Python, and you know, I mean, you can just do incredible stuff. And so, we've talked about doing that. That Secret Inventor Lab is as big as this room, with tons of tools and CNC and laser cutters and all kinds of things. So you asking that, knowing that there's interest, is exciting. Yeah. I mean, wouldn't it be fun to take a class in animatronics or, you know, escape room design? Yeah. The escape room? Yeah. Those are so fun, right? The Hex room in Buena Park is amazing. Am I taking too much time? Or, yeah, no. Oh, yeah, sorry. Oh my God, you know the thing that would be the most helpful is once we open, just like getting the word out. Like we just want to get that'll be. Christy. Yeah, well, so we were just talking about doing like a special BIL day, like early, like kind of like beta hacker night, you know? Yeah, please, that would be incredible. Yeah, thanks you guys. And give feedback, be brutal, you know, we want that, yeah. Yeah, the best. You know, we have I can get you. You know what? We've got a whole bundle that I can send you. These are two of our socials, mine and the company's. But I could send you stuff. I'd love to get your contact information. Yeah. Oh yeah, great. Thanks. But our newsletter also is the most reliable place. Everything goes out there first, the company newsletter. It's just at 2bitcircus.com. Yeah. You know, we did talk about that, and there's still interest. It was one of the things, frankly, like even an entire mobile app that we pushed till after launch. But I love that idea. In fact, I bought a hotel with Bitcoin, a little while ago. I was like, it just felt so amazing, to like have real value provided. I showed up, they gave me the key to my room, and it all worked. It was awesome. So, yeah, I would love to do that. Yeah.
With the children's program and the workshop that you have, are you actually having goals for these children to become more exposed to STEM?
Oh my God, yeah, we have a whole set of metrics. We're really looking, we're looking to expose kids to what we consider kind of the fundamental skills of invention, right? Programming, fabrication and tool use, electronics, creativity and design thinking. And so,
Leaning towards exposure to STEM and ultimately like them having greater interest in STEM?
oh yeah, oh for sure. Like,
NSF funding?
no.
Okay, that's something that you might want to look into,
That would be
especially
amazing.
for these programs.
Yeah,
Looking at getting this external funding for these programs.
that would be amazing.
Especially for students who are still within STEM.
Yeah, would love that. I mean, we're in like half the schools of LA now. We've really got, we've trained like 5,000 teachers. Yeah. It's really crazy. It's really amazing. So I would love more funding. I mean, I feel like we're kind of right at the knee of the curve where we just replicated it to Fresno and Dallas, and so we can kind of like we could add fuel to that fire. Cool. Yeah, that would be great. Thanks. Cool, guys.